Hi everyone, in today's video, we're gonna learn 6 tips and tricks on how to get you started on real estate investing. Hi everyone, I'm Natalie and I'm passionate about teaching you real estate and real estate investing and making it accessible for everybody. So if that sounds like your jam, please consider subscribing on the link below. Let's get into it. Tip number 1, buy where you know or like to go. So what I mean by this is start in the city that you live in, because you already live there, you already know about the population density and all the research. You pretty much know where people like to go shopping, what their good schools are. So there's not too much of a learning curve there. So start there, you already live there, you can manage your property pretty simply because you're a local. Now, if you want to invest in another city, you should consider buying where you like to go. Just because someone says, hey, you should buy in Oklahoma City, that's a great up and coming city, might not be a city that you're familiar with or is on the way to anything that you want to be going to. So you're going to be driving or flying out there, and that's something you might not be enjoying. However, if you have family in a different city, let's say Oklahoma City, and you go there once a year for Christmas or whatnot, you could go check on your property and write off that trip. So that's a nice thing, and you're going to that place anyway, and you're familiar with it anyway because you've been there, because you enjoy going there. So don't make this a burden on you by choosing some city that you heard a tip on. You should really start for your first investment, start local or start in a place that you're familiar with. It'll put you ahead of your goals at that point. Number 2, start small. And what I mean by that is you could start with a condo, and I did a condo video. I'm going to link it to the description above. But it also is buy a smaller house. One of my first investments was a 3,000 square foot house in Houston, Texas. Now they make everything bigger in Texas. It was 5 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. And I thought, great, I can buy this huge house for, X amount of money. And I was ecstatic. Once my first tenant moved out, I realized how much it cost to repaint the whole house and do the carpets. It was very expensive. Now, if you have a smaller house, a single-story house, a 1,000 square foot house, those expenses, those turnover expenses are going to be less on you. In general, it's cheaper to maintain a smaller house than a bigger house. And for your first investment, you're gonna want something small. So also another benefit from starting small is you have a place to go, a trajectory to go. So most people start small, it's a long-term investment. You can sell that condo, buy into a house, sell the house, buy into a duplex, sell the duplex, buy into a fourplex, and so on into an eightplex, and then you're a billionaire with hundreds of apartment buildings and a real estate portfolio. But you should start somewhere, and usually you want to start small. It's manageable for you, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. It's something you want to keep it manageable and enjoyable. Now, with starting small, like I said, you want to use the most affordable amount available to you. So if you're comfortable with a certain down payment and a certain monthly payment, then stay in that lane. Now, the other hack I'm going to be talking about, my next tip, is called house hacking. And maybe in this hack, you might want to go for the most expensive house that you can afford. So just hear me out. So in house hacking, what you're going to be doing is renting out one of the rooms in your house, or you could rent out what we call an accessory dwelling unit in the back of your house, a back house, or you can convert your garage into a rental property. This way, your tenants or your roommates are essentially helping you pay your mortgage down. Once they move out, you'll have paid enough into your property where you have some equity, and then you can live there by yourself or with your family, or you can sell it and move up again. So that's a house hacking strategy. A lot of my clients do it. They buy a condo or they buy a house with the intention to rent out certain rooms. One of my favorites, my last two are my 2 favorites, are the Dynamic Duplex. This is a great way to use an FHA loan. I'm not a big fan of the FHA loan where you can put 3.5% down, but I am a big fan of the duplex. So I'm going to share my screen.
So when I said start small, I also meant make it affordable. You don't want to get overwhelmed with a property that you can't afford. So start small with something that you can afford. Now back to the Dynamic Duplex, which you're going to use the FHA loan. This is a great way to use other people's money, OPM, to buy something for your own benefit. Now, how to find the FHA loan limits, go to HUD.gov. And this is the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Go to Resources, and you're going to go to FHA loan limits. You might as well go to the horse's mouth. Now, we are going to look for a state, let's say Tennessee, and let's say by county, Shelby County, which is Memphis. And we can see here in Memphis, a single family home, if you did an FHA loan, which is $356,000. But for a duplex, we have a loan limit of $456,000 to buy a duplex. Triplex would be $551,000, and a fourplex is $685,000. Now, maybe in Memphis, you could buy a threeplex or fourplex, but please note that there is a rule that says 75% of the income in a threeplex or fourplex needs to come from your rental income. So that is a very tricky situation. If you buy a duplex, there is no rule. So that doesn't apply for this rule. So this is a really great way, again, to leverage the bank's money to buy something for yourself. And you only have to put 3.5% down. But remember, you do have to live in the property. Eventually, you can refinance out of it. But we'll start there. Now let's look at something more expensive. Let's go to California, and we'll go to San Francisco. Now in San Francisco, you can see a single family is $822,000 for a loan limit, and a duplex is $1,053,000. The threeplex is great. It's 1.2, almost 1.3 million, and the fourplex is almost 6 million. However, you're not going to be able to find a threeplex or fourplex in the Bay Area because they have very strong rental restrictions and rent control. And that prevents you from being able to even get close to these products. But in San Francisco, and these are the same loan limits as in LA, you can find a duplex for around $1.1 million. Now, remember, this is the amount they're going to loan you. You need to put 3.5% down. So your purchase price could be around $1.1 million. If we scroll down, I just want to show you something. This has nothing to do with the Dynamic Duplex. You can see the Freddie and Fannie loan limits, which is $822,000 here, which means if you buy a house and do a regular conventional loan and the loan limit is $822,000, you're going to get the best APR, the annual percentage rate. If you go higher than that, which you can, that's fine. It's just going to cost you more money because you're in a jumbo product loan. So just keep that in mind if you want to be the most conservative on APR. Now let's do something fun. We are going to go to the Virgin Islands. Why not, right? And I might even do this. So you can see here, if I buy a property in St. Thomas, which I do want to do, a duplex there, I could get a loan limit of $571,000, and maybe I will buy a duplex and move to St. Thomas and live a fabulous life there. But if I go to St. John, it's almost $800,000 loan limit for a duplex. So that's even more enticing. You just have to take a boat every time you want to leave the island. So that is what I wanted to show you here. And now back to the video.
So now that we know how much you can borrow for a duplex, what you would want to do is purchase a duplex and then live in one side and rent out the other side. It's similar to house hacking, but this way it is above board. You don't have roommates, you're living in your own property, and your tenants are helping you pay for your mortgage. My last tip is the slow flip, the F word. flipping. But this is a special type of flipping. It's called the slow flip, not the actual flip which commercial flippers do it. In this strategy, you're going to want to look for the smallest and ugliest house on the block. Something that you can live in. Something that doesn't have the roof caving in and broken windows, because a lender won't lend money to you on that. Those are cash buyers, and those are where the commercial flippers actually come in and buy with cash or a hard money loan. We don't want that. We want something that the person has lived in the house, never updated it, and it looks like it's from the 70s. You'll want to buy that house, move in, and just start upgrading it as you have money. Upgrade the furniture, upgrade the kitchen, upgrade the bathrooms, upgrade the landscaping, paint the exterior, that kind of thing. And in a couple of years, you'll see that your house appreciated so much that you'll be able to sell it for a nice profit. Now, if you lived in the house for 2 out of 5 years, or you won't have to pay capital gains on, if you're single, $250,000, and if you are married, $500,000. So this is a nice way to flip a house, live in it, get all the tax benefits and the appreciation, and then sell it and be able to keep some of the profits. And then again, once you make some money, you can level up and then go to the next step by buying a duplex, a fourplex, an apartment building, whatnot. Your dreams are endless when it comes to real estate. In the next video, we're gonna walk step by step on how to buy a house. So hit the notification bell so you get notified on when that comes out. But in the meantime, I'll see you in the next video.